Undead Unluck chapter 218. All I've got to say is let's go. These are the chapters that I'm waiting for, bro. We are back. We are so back. Undead Unluck is back. There's really good chapters. It got a really nice action-packed chapter. I can't wait to get into it. I even thought that I should do a live reaction to this one because of the week break. I've seen the last few chapters out and all that. I know something was building up because like when there's quite a few chapters, like three in a row chapters that are just like meh kind of chapters. Not a lot of good, not a lot is going on. We got to soon be getting a banger chapter, and that is what we got this week. Especially there was a week break. I was like, there's got to be something good in this chapter. And yeah, man, I think next week I'll probably do a live reaction. But yeah, let's just get into this chapter. Okay, so from the jump, this chapter starts off pretty interesting when the soul room table, the superior rule table. I guess it's pretty much Soul's room because he can like do whatever he wants in there. He's the one like projecting on the TV screen and everything. Like he's the number one rule. Like he basically owns the place. It's basically the Soul room table. Okay, but anyway, so we're in the superior room table, and this chapter's title is Dead Start, by the way. So Change is questioning Soul here, and she's asking what they're gonna do because now they've like accrued all their teammates the Union has. Soul just confirms to Change that she wants to kill Unchange for some reason. I don't know if they have beef like that or is it just because he is the opposite of her rule. She wants to kill him. But I don't know what that's about. But she's confirmed. She's like, yeah, she does want to kill Unchange, but she does bring up that she isn't able to move because Andy's there stealing them away. But so just like, yeah, okay, then I'll set her aside. And he's pretty confident about the way he's saying it. And he talks to War and he confirms that War wants unfair for some reason. He wants Billy. I don't know what beef they have. Do these rules just have random beefs with these guys for some? It's probably over the loops. Like they're the ones that always like usually like defeats them except for like Juiz when she has to. But yeah, they're probably just like natural enemies. I don't know specifically of War and Unfair, like why he wants him. They've never interacted, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, War wants Unfair for some reason, and yeah, he's saying like yeah, he'll set him aside as well. The other rules don't know what Soul means by this, but I this is coming back to what we were saying before. All the way, I think it was chapter 213 or maybe 14. I think it was 213. In chapter 213, Fuuko's like still questioning like if Soul had anything planned because they got everything they wanted, but something doesn't feel right. And yeah, this is probably that thing that doesn't feel right. Soul tells the rest of the rules that they'll find out soon. And we get this shot of Andy just sitting on the sun still, and he's smiling, but I don't know what he's smiling about. I guess he's happy because he might know that they've collected Tatiana. Now the reunion's complete, so his time's almost done. His mission's almost done. Now we head back over to Tatiana and Fuuko and the rest of the Union. They're still at the runway show's venue. And it looks like Tatiana's just getting a really good grip of everything. And she's like just going over like what the state of matter is. She's got untouchable. She can't be a part of the modding world anymore, but she's happy that she got to go out the way she did. So she doesn't have any regrets. And she just says, "Oh, so you guys are fighting against God and these Uma stuff. I'll be joining you, right?" And like she comes aboard like pretty quickly. And I feel like even Billy made a mention of like how strong she is. But yeah, she can. She's like a mini Fuko in a way, man. She can just roll the punches when she needs to, I guess. So there's someone asking Fuko if that means the union's finally complete now, and I can't really tell who it is. It's just some random member. Is that supposed to be Gina? The face looks really weird to me for some reason. It might be Julia, but her hair looks a bit tomboyish, I guess. But anyway, they ask this, and Fuka says, no, there's one more member left. But that's when stuff turns left, as Fuka says. And then boom, everyone's getting sniped out of nowhere by like blood missiles. And like from just seeing this panel, you already know who it is. You already know by the thumbnail. But yeah, this guy's back. The ultimate menace, bro. This guy. But hold up, I just want to dissect this panel a little bit. So, well, as we'll learn very soon, he gets Chica in the eyes and then Billy and Gina are being sniped. But there looks like there's cracks in it because that looks like a headshot to Gina. And it looks like it narrowly like misses Billy's like head and but it just has cracks in it. So I thought that was unmove that was not unmove move like redirecting the attack or something. Because he does when he does his teleportation, there's like cracks in the sky. But yeah, I don't know. It could look like it's Gina's unchanged, but she looks like she's out cold. But yeah, I don't know. But because it hits Tatiana, she's in the armor, so she's fine. Sean is able to go invisible and duck. He just when he closes his eyes, he goes invisible. And I think Fuuko was just able to dodge out the way. And Julia, I'm pretty sure it's Julia that was asking her the question. Just looked weird in that panel. Julia is probably got looked like she probably just got pushed down by Fuuko, so like Fuuko was like had the experience and wherewithal to like try and help because I think Fuuko's trying to like grab Chikara as well. Yeah, she is holding on to him, so yeah, she's like the experienced one handling those two. But yeah, Sean was able to duck because he's probably it's in his cowardice type of personality to be quick to dodge. So we see the back of the person who seems to be doing these blood bullets, and he says, "Leave unchanged and unfair." That means he can kill everyone else. So I'm thinking what happened with Gina and Billy, because he was not supposed to kill them. He might be just redirecting the attack or something. Because it like with Billy, it doesn't look like it hits him. I think he could have just missed on purpose. But yeah, like I said, he got my boy Chikara in the eye, so his ability is not in use right now, and he's actually a pretty handy ability just to keep your opponent still. But I think with Unruin, he can probably do the thing Andy did when he just like rips off his like front part of his skin so he can move behind. I think he did do that against Chikara, right? I think he did do that. But anyway, next panel we get to see him. It is Unruined, the Menace himself. And to be honest, let me talk about Unruined for a second. I was like rereading some of Undead Unluck, and I think it was the Ragnarok arc, and that's like when Unruined's about, and like when he is about, the manga is pretty lit. Like all the battles and shit going on, and like as soon as he came back, because he's just such a menace, bro. Like I might have to do him in or battle hungry characters because he is probably just battle hungry as well but he just sucks off God for some reason. I don't know why. Although I don't like him as a character. Actually, I like him as a character because he's a villain, so I don't like him. So he's a good character, but yeah, when he's around, shit just starts to pop off. And speaking of pop off, Fuuko just pops his head off. And Fuuko, this is the Fuuko I love to see, man. Like I posted a short about Fuuko like putting the gun to the Shueisha employee, and one of the comments on it said, "Nah, Fuuko would never do something like that." I think a panel like this shows Fuuko would definitely do something like that. Fuuko is gangster. Don't test her, bro. Like, trust me, she got the G pass for real. Like the way she must have, she's got her fingers in this man's skull, bro. She is cold blooded with it, and the way she decapitates him, I think she probably just put her fingers in his eye sockets, used a gun to shoot the neck. The gun's so powerful it like blows a hole in his neck, and she just has the speed and enough force to just rip the rest of that shit off, man. Just that is an insane way to decapitate someone. What you mean, bro? Fuko's cold. Oh, jeez. And I also just want to talk about the speed feat because it kind of looks like she kind of blitz him. How fast is Fuko? Like you actually see a panel where she propels, and it looks insane, like a lot of force, bro. So like Feng is pretty powerful as well. Like he can do insane attacks. He can take down the pseudo god. So especially with like the soul enhancement power ups this world has to offer, yeah, like Fuko's not just a regular human. She is like superhuman level. So anyway, Fuko throws off it on Ruin's head to Gina so she can trap it in the unchanged air like she does with Andy. But it doesn't work. And there's a really creepy scene where like Gina has his head in the sphere and he just moves his eyes to look at her. And I'm thinking, bro, he really didn't need to do that. He just did that to be creepy. This is the kind of slimy guy he is, bro. So he can regenerate his head from his torso, so they can't do the tactic they usually do with Andy. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't work with Andy anymore because he can regrow his head from any body part he wants as well. Fuko realizes it's not going to be that easy to take him down, so she tells Nico to get everyone to evacuate. Tell Karuru to help evacuate all the citizens. And I'm wondering if she uses her unchast to do that. So like it'll still be like a rush and stuff. People will mob her, but it'll get them out quickly and efficiently, I guess. Hopefully they don't trample over each other. But asking Karuru specifically, that sounds like it could be one of her duties, like emergency evacuation type sheet. Now Ruin and Fuuko just start going at it, and Fuuko thinks that this is probably Soul's main assassin. And he's probably right, because Ruin is like the top dog, really. He's the most troublesome like opponent they've had other than actual God and the superior rules, probably. But yeah, he is a massive hindrance. That's technically not on the Uma's side, but he has sided with them for some strange reason. I actually have a bit of a theory about that. I'll share it at the end of the video. Sean and Billy offer to help for backup. Actually, not even really Sean. He just is shocked by regeneration, and Billy's the one who actually offers backup. But Fuuko just tells everyone to stay back and get away. This is way above your pay grade right now. Let the boss do her thing. And this, to me, what Fuuko does next is another superhuman feat. She just stabs into Unruin's chest and leaves her gloves in there. A straight up just hand stab, like a Shigan pistol, but with all her hands. A 5-finger Shigan, bro. That's literally superhuman. That is literally Rob Lucci, CP9 agent level of strength. And that's without, actually, I was going to say that's without Haki, but the 6 powers, I think it's called. Yeah, they're like martial art technique. So what Fuuko does is leave her gloves in Unruin and unleashes a 200-year meteor shower. I think it's 200 years. It just says 200 meteor shower. I'm guessing the number is the amount of years she's been storing up this unluck. And I've said this before, like when she's using her bad luck tape and stuff. What if she has something she's been saving this the longest and it's just for God? And it's probably just going to be like for an opening at something. It's not going to be the main thing. Because I think in the final battle, the key to the main thing is that last artifact that they never been able to find. I think it was called the Heart. I'd have to look it up to remember, but I think it was called the Heart. Fuuko unleashes a meteor shower on Ruin. Fuuko and Gina were safe from the destruction by Gina using Unchanged to create a barrier. And that's actually something that I forgot about with Unchanged, that it has such a high defensive capability in my Negator tier list stream. But to be honest, I don't think that would have been enough to push her up into S class anyway. She still fell into A class, so she still got a fair ranking. I think she was pretty high in the A class as well. Fuuko's letting Gina know that Ruin is the only negator to side with the Umas in all the previous loops. Well, we don't know if it's all the previous loop, but just the last loop that Fuuko knows of. And while she's saying this, a bloodstream shot shoots from underground and hits Fuuko right in the eye, so Fuuko is down an eye right now. Then he just smacks Gina out the way. It looks like he knocked her out cold. He does have instructions to leave her alive, so that's probably the only reason she's not dead right now. And with this underground attack, I'm thinking that Ruin has knowledge of the previous loops, or at least Soul probably gave him some information about everyone, which does make more sense. Probably want to prepare your assassin for all possibilities. Now Ruin's talking to Fuuko, doing the classic villain, explaining his whole plot. Apparently he's waiting for Unchanged to weaken, which I don't understand. Because why would you need Unchanged to weaken? Like, can you just snipe them like you just did a second ago? All you needed to do was like a surprise attack just like now. I don't know if that would change because Unchanged is weakened. And he implies it's from holding back Tatiana's untouchable. And I'm wondering, what is the physical strain on Chikara when he uses Unchanged like that? Is it his eyes just start hurting? I doubt it's a muscle thing. Does it hurt to stand still? He might get dry eye because he has to keep his eyelids open all the time. Ruin goes on to confirm that the other union members can't come and help Fuuko right now because they're still on the remaining quest. So I guess because there's no backup, Ruin decides to take his time and have a little chat with Fuuko. He lets her know that he's always wondered, why does she think she can defeat God, especially after seeing what Ragnarok was. And I even forget sometimes like the full scope of what Ragnarok was, because they were fighting the one guy for so long, but at the end you see like a flaming vortex of just multiple of these guys. Like it could be in the infinity numbers, really. Like if it's like we're making sure there's destruction, but if there's a finite number, I can't remember the panel, but I knew there were a lot. At least 5, and 5 would be pretty tough to handle, especially if they're all at the same power. That could be the misdirect. They're not all at the same power. There's one main one, other ones are a little bit weaker. They might come in different sizes. But Ruin thinks it's impossible for humanity to overcome something like that. Then he gets shut up by a sword through his back. Dawn and Julia were able to sneak up to him and just stab him in the back. And Fuuko starts laying down some facts onto Ruin. She says that, like the Umas and Superior Rules, they're obviously afraid of the Union being complete. They've even gone so far as to send Ruin to assassinate them, and that's proof that they're panicking, because they'd usually only intervene through quests. But Fuuko lets Ruin know that today the union will become complete. We have a pattern where we can see Andy, the little sunspot, blasting off. But before that, we actually have another panel of Soul, and he has got a massive grin on his face because this is technically what he wants. Andy was being a hindrance to them being there. They could move as freely as they wanted, but now they can. But obviously, Fuuko don't care about that because she unleashes 210 years of unluck that was stored through her knitted cap. And with this, I'm thinking we have seen Fuuko without her knitted cap, so her unluck, she doesn't need to be constantly touching something. And to be honest, we probably could have inferred that before because we've definitely seen her without a hat on, I'm pretty sure. So she can just like, while she's touching it, it's probably building up the unluck. But if she leaves, takes it off, it doesn't like dissipate or anything. And I guess other people can touch it because Julia had to bring it, but Julia could have just been wearing gloves. So are people just not allowed to touch Fuko's things at all because she might have some unluck stored up in there? I'm thinking she has to purposely release it. She always announces it as well. Maybe she's just lucky like that. Imagine the 200 years unluck wasn't in the hat, and she was like 200 years unluck and nothing happens. And she's like, it should be coming, and Sean just like, yeah, I accidentally touched it once she was fine somewhere, and yeah, I got hit with a meteor shower, but we survived somehow. Gina was there, and she didn't want to say it to you because she was embarrassed. Gina was there; she protected us with the unchanged barrier. But yeah, that but that does not happen. That does not happen because Andy is on his way, and I can't wait, bro. He's definitely had to got a lot stronger now. We saw he got a lot stronger. Joel even said he's definitely the strongest negator in this loop. Was he including Ruin in this? Because if he was, Ruin's about to get smacked up. Maybe he just sent Ruin because he knew that Fuuko would have to bring Andy in, and removing Andy removes the seal on them and they can move around freer. That might be his whole plan. That's why we saw him smiling. Fuuko should be able to figure this out. She knows when Andy comes, the seal is gone. So she probably saw into this, and the risks versus the rewards. The rewards definitely outweigh the risk because you're pretty safe with the man Andy around. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's gonna pull out. He's gonna show us a new technique. He's gonna show us a couple new technique. I don't want to see no red rose. No, is a deadline. I want to see some brand new spanking stuff. Maybe some soul action going on. Yeah, do you think Andy's gonna take care of Ruin quickly, or is it gonna be a more drawn out fight? I think it'll last a little bit, but I think Andy will be dominating. So yeah, that is the end of the chapter. And now I just want to go over Ruin a little bit. So with Ruin, the main thing I want to look at is his design change. So I'm not sure he looks younger, so I feel like this loop should be further ahead because Tatiana's older, no, but timelines and stuff is a complex thing. But he looks younger. It could be Unruh making him younger as he go along. I don't know, but he looks younger. And also one thing is he doesn't have the sun tattoo anymore. So I don't think he laser removed that, or maybe he never got it in this loop for some reason. But yeah, I don't think he like got rid of it. I don't think Ruin was like, yeah, I got that sun tattoo when I was in my 20s, and now I'm a bit older. It's kind of dumb. I got to remove it. So another thing about his appearance is his scar. It's like all over the right side of his shoulder and chest now. And his scar in the previous loop was a lot smaller, so I was starting to kind of theorize and think maybe the reason he sides with the Umas is like a basic one, like he got unruined whilst he was really sick, and then that made him not sick, and maybe he just had a really powerful sickness that even unruined takes a lot of time to like heal the scar, and the longer he has unruined, the more the scar will recede until it's just to his eye. Because he also has half white hair as well. That could be a part of the sickness. I was also thinking maybe he was like experimented on because that could like account for his like twisted personality. Um, and yeah, they experimented on him real bad, and then he got unruined, and he was able to heal up. He had the ability to be able to kill his captors, whoever was experimenting on him, and he was grateful for that. And he had his knot, and he had a twisted mentality because of all the torture and experiments and stuff. And yeah, that's why he started with the Umas. Yep, that's my theory on Unruined. Maybe it's 100% right, and you know what? I guarantee it. That is exactly what happened in Unruined's backstory. But yeah, that's all I have. This was a hype chapter. Like I said, I am gonna do a live reaction for chapter 219. Andy's back. It's got to get something. We got to get something good. And I'm even looking at the left panel of Andy. It looks like he's still on fire, but he's already healing. Is he gonna come back just looking crisp? He's gonna be naked. He's gonna be naked. That is one thing. It's gonna be a bit silly, but it'll look badass. Maybe Cloughy will get on him straight away. But yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.